What's goody to any and everybody who may be listening? We're going to be talking about Danny the hairdresser. Now this was Debbie's cousin. I ain't spoke about Debbie because prior to this I felt that there was no need to even speak about Debbie. But now it's time to talk about her because this connection came through Debbie. What I will say is that I did love Debbie. I gotta admit that Debbie was one of the only ones that I was able to love during this lifetime. Okay, now I didn't like the way Sharita treated her because she did treat Debbie a type of way. But I found Debbie to be cool. But looking back, I'm seeing this connection with her and that cousin of hers, Danny, this hairdresser. And this abuse that Sharita used to do, this abuse that she employed upon me, you can call it conflated abuse, but you know it's better known as ritual abuse. Now, let's take it on back to the molestations, okay? Well, not only was my own father molesting me, had me up sitting on top of that bed, had me in the middle of that bed while he was pulling my diapers off and biting down on something that he ain't had no business biting down on, amongst other things. And she knew that this was happening down there at the house that she would drop me off at. Okay? On top of that, not only that, but she bust in on the room of me being molested. Okay? That was supposed to be a humiliation ritual. I was about 3 years old when this occurred. Okay, but let's move on down to when she put me into that program and had me being passed around to all these different white men. Okay, now on top of that, when it resulted in me being gay, she tried to beat the gay out of me. Okay, so here we go with that conflated abuse. Now, ritual abuse, really, really diabolical that somebody could do that. And I can remember myself being so confused as to why she would do that. But like I said, every time she would catch me with my wrist bent, or when I would be drinking a drink and I would have my pinky out, she would pop me in my hand with a brush or with a comb or whatever she had near and tell me that she won't raise no faggots. This is what she told me out of her mouth. Okay. Now, let's get on down to this incident with this hairdresser. So, you know, she had to go get her hair done. She stayed getting some weave up in that hair because the hair didn't grow. It wasn't that the hair didn't grow. It was just that she she didn't like to cut them split ends up off her head. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. The point is, we went to. She went to go get her hair done one day. Okay, and we all went with her. Me, Danielle, and Darrell. Okay. But she was going to get her hair done by a gay hairstylist. Now this was a feminine gay man, okay, and probably one of the first that I had ever saw, okay. But there, Sharita was like, you know what she had the nerve to tell me? Don't look at him. So she had the nerve to take me down to this hair salon where this feminine man was sitting up there doing her hair, and then she told me not to even look at him. Don't even look. Do you know how much willpower that it took me to sit there up in that chair at that salon and not even look at this individual? Okay. Let's go ahead and call our light sparks back from this, because this was very traumatic. I recall sitting there in that chair and being very scared to even look up for fear that I would look at him. Okay, and not wanting a whooping. So let's go ahead and call our light sparks back. I decree and declare that any and all of my light sparks that got caught up within that incident, that got lost within that incident, any of my light sparks and soul fragments that got caught up within that are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. And we gotta move on down to Debbie because Debbie, I loved you, girl, but I'm gonna have to call my light sparks back from you. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up within the midst of Debbie, they got lost up in Debbie somewhere, are freed, released, removed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child, which is none other than myself. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.